So, welcome to C2TA. So today what we are going to say is, right? So for Red Bus application, if you go to Google, okay, if you go to Google Chrome, okay, then for Red Bus application, we have written test cases. Okay, so we have written test cases for the Red Bus application. Okay, so this is manual testing. We also done for automation testing. Framework also have done. So for both manual and automation, we have tested with the Red Bus application, and also we have written test cases for the Flipkart application. So Flipkart also we have written both manual and automation testing. This course is more about manual test cases and other documents, but you can go and see in a previous site, right? So I've written test cases for I've added already added right video for automation also. Okay, so in the Selenium Cucumber hybrid framework, I've written test cases. So now let's see what are documents. I'm just giving an overview at what are documents we have prepared for the purpose. Okay, first one is we have prepared an SRS document, the requirement specification. We have created for it, but this is a sample, right? This is just a sample for the freshers. Mainly we concentrate on the freshers, to learn how to what are the different reports artifacts in the in the IT industry, the testing related to testing, how they create SRS document and how they write test cases scenarios, the software testing life cycle. So so they they see. So that is what is the main focus here. So project name, Red Bus, so just it's how we can test the Red Bus in different ways. First is we have written manual testing, and then we have written for automation testing also. Okay. So table of contents, the purpose, scope, definitions, acronyms and abbreviations, an outline of SRS document, and overall description and product functionality, user characteristics. So then we have product functionality. Okay. Then so we have product functionality I have written. Okay. Then user characteristics, user characteristics we have written. What are the user characteristics? Who are the users, administrators? Who are the end users? Who are the customers? Who are passengers, who are going to do it? And the user characteristics, and what is the environment of the particular application? Just as an we are just as an just an imagination, and we have written this created this SRS document. Just go through the document. Okay, and use the documentation. Just you imagine and given some assumptions, this dependencies, so we have user documentation for both manual and automation, and application requirement. What are the specific requirement we have in the application? We have a login page, search bus page. Okay. Next one is so what are the different application? Home page, select bus, search bus, passenger details, displaying the results, and going for a payment gateway, payment method, for each of our modules you have created function, both function requirements and non-function requirements. So basically software requirement specification will tell about the overall requirements, overall the complete end-to-end requirements should be there: database requirements, security requirements, user interface, hardware interface, software interface, communication interface, so we have created a detailed requirement of this non-function requirements also, how much load it should, that's an imagination, we are just created this document. Okay. Like that, just it's an imagination for testing purpose, for learning purpose, to freshers to learn, freshers or even the experienced people also, those who don't have manual testing experience, they can go through the document and they can, and this is all about SRS document. Next one is then next one is we have create a test scenario document for the Red Bus, for a Red Bus we have created some scenarios here. Okay. Requirement ID, test scenario ID, module name, test scenario description, priority, number of test cases, right? What are the modules and what are the scenarios, right? Ability to launch the URL to user to view the bus facilities and right respective right top buses and home page module. What are the high level scenarios coming, right? So that right we have had earlier. And for the search functionality, select bus functionality, seat selection, passenger details, payment, right? Ticket cancellation, like that we have created a sample right scenario, booking history, profile creation after ticket booking, user sign up, refund, notification, track my bus. So we have identified some high level scenarios. Still, there are a lot of work needs to be done. So just some basic idea, right? If a fresher wants to understand what the scenarios will come for a right red bus application, they can just go through this. These are all the high level right scenarios for a red bus application. And same thing, we have written test cases, test case document also. For that, we have prepared test case right document. So we have test case document for red bus, right? We can right now we have prepared actually. We have written some 100 plus test cases for red bus, right? We used our template C2TA template, which we normally write standard template, right? We use, right? So for that, we created some 100 to 120 test cases. We created test scenario module, test case ID, test case, test parameter, precondition, description, post condition, steps to execute, expected result, and actual result. So we have written some test cases, right? You can go through these test cases, right? If you want for a learning purpose to get an idea, right? If any college finished freshers, they want their learning test cases and practical understanding how the test case will look, right? What are steps, right? Positive test case, negative test case, description of test case, precondition, post condition, steps to execute, right? Expected result. So we have written some test cases here. So you can go through test cases. We have 100 for each module, scenarios, right? We have identified, and from the scenarios, we have written test cases. You can go through, right, all these right test cases, right? Right. If you have any suggestions, you can give to us. We can make it right more effective also in the future. So this right in training in our sessions, right? In the training sessions, we have asked the participants to create these test cases and that I am presenting in the public. Actually, that is what I'm doing here. Okay. Next one is right. We have created a right bug report also. Okay, so we have created a bug report also. You can go through this. Okay. So we sample bug, right? One entering numbers in the from field, entering invalid places. It accepts, right? So we have created a sample bug. We have given the list number, environment details, browser details, machine details, and steps to reproduce. Severity, priority, we're not going to put, right? So then the test screenshots, test data, they're giving suggestions, reproducible, yes or no, reported date and reported time. Okay, so we have created a sample bug report. You can just go through that. Okay, so how to write a report of bug. Okay, normally you do in Excel sheet or in Jira or in Azure Docs or whatever tool you're working. So this we are concentrating only on right Excel sheet. In our previous videos, if you go to a channel, we have we have just posted videos for writing in Jira also. You can just go through the our previous YouTube channel for getting a better idea how to report a bug in Jira, right? So that also you can see. Then we have test plan document here. Okay, sample test plan. You can go to the sample test plan which we created. Okay, we have put a lot of effort in preparing these things. Okay, so test plan document, in scope, out scope, right, right, assist, right, non-functional testing, environment, test schedule, control procedures, functions to be tested, resource and responsibilities, deliverables. We have created a sample right test plan document also, right? Introduction, okay. Test plan already in scope, right? Next one is out scope, right? Test strategy, QA process, preparing, right? Preparing test cases, what the QA process. Okay. My next one is who is going to create a document, when you're going to create, how you're going to create, how you're going to log a bug, how you're going to write test cases, when you're going to retesting, and when you're going to regression testing, when the deployment will be. Okay. So like that, right? We have right detailed, right? Test plan document for we have written for both manual and automation testing. Okay. You can go through this right document. Okay, so I've added all these videos in my site, right? You can go and download, right? If you want, right? You can download all these documents. Okay, so this is for right Redbus. Okay, and next one is right. You can go through the RTM report. We have created an RTM report, right? So we have created an RTM report also. We have created. Okay, so requirement ID, requirement type, module name, test scenario ID, test case ID, pass and fail, and bug ID. Okay, we have created a sample right bug report for this one also. Okay, you can go through and you can just learn right how requirement is impacted for tracking your right status of a project. Okay, that's why we go for RTM. Okay, so same thing, right? We have created a test case review document. The test case review document also is there. Okay, you can go through this right in our site. Okay, next one is right test summary report, right, and test log report you have prepared, right. You can go through and download this document. Okay, if you need, right. After end of a testing, you prepare one document, what you tested, what you didn't test, right, what are the metrics, right, how much passed, how much failed, what is in scope, out scope, right. So you prepare a detailed right metrics. We are done for manual. We can do same for automation also, right. In our automation testing, right, course, right, we have added for automation report also, right, extent reports, screenshots, how much pass, fail, right, lessons learned, right. So we have added this all this in our right in our automation report also. Okay, lessons learned, what is the environments, tools used, right, who what type of testing performed, like everything we got a detailed right report also in your summer report. Okay, so you can download this, right, and you can just right if you need you can use it. Okay, so all these things, right, are here for the red bus. Same thing, right, we have done for right Flipkart also. Okay, so we're done for same thing for Flipkart. Okay, you can download the SRS document, right? For Flipkart also we have done. Okay, so Flipkart application also tested. You can just added this in the right in the site. You can just go to the Flipkart application, right? We put a lot of time in preparing this document, SRS document. Okay, just Flipkart application also. Yeah, then okay, Flipkart, right? Scope, in scope, definitions, end user, right, product administrator, right, what are the modules, right. Okay, the use case diagram, right, we have done overall description. Okay, product perspective, right, principal actors, central constraints, assumptions, dependencies, right, application functionalities, what are the functionalities we are going to test, right. So we have prepared a detailed right SRS document. Okay, you can go through the SRS document also. Okay, so right then we have right same thing, we have test plan document. Okay, right, test plan document we have. Okay, so we have added that assessment document also. Okay, so you can go through for right so test plan for Flipkart application. Same thing, we have written test case scenario document. Okay, we have added for scenario document. Added for scenario document. So we have added right more modules for each module. We have written test cases. We have written almost right more than 100 plus test cases for this one. Okay, so almost right. If you see right, we have written almost right. Yeah, 119 test cases for this one. Okay, so you can download this document right from the right our site, right, if you want to. use it, right? So we have right test cases for test cases for the right Flipkart application also. Okay, you can go through this right test cases and you can. So we have our own template, right? We follow the template. Same same thing. You have bug report. Okay, so we have RTM. So everything is there in our site. Okay, so you can go and just fetch all these documents, right? If you still right need it. Okay. So we have RTM, we have right a summer report, right, weekly report, we have daily report also, we have right. So we have daily report, right? So right, we have daily report, we have okay. If you want, right, serial number, module, total number of test case written, total number of test case executed, and status, right? How many test case written and how many executed, and how much is passed and how much is failed. Okay, like that, right? And what are the additional tasks with it? Okay, like that you prepare a daily report. Okay, next one is weekly report is there, right? And right, we have written a schema also. Scample. This is a very good schema. We put a lot of effort in adding a drawing a schema for Flipkart application. Okay, so right, the database, the structure, right, and the primary key and the foreign key, right. So we have added a schema also here. Okay, so you can go and understand the just for a like learning purpose, right? This is right for the freshers to learn, right? This is for only purely a learning purpose, right? Just an imagination and what are right, what are tables will come, right, and what are tables will come in the Flipkart application. Just imagined and we wrote some, right, right schema. Okay, so this just for a learning, right, learning. Okay, so all these things are yeah, right. Deliverables of both Redbus and right Flipkart application. We just for an imagination, right? We just created and for like freshers to learn purely. This is for right for freshers to learn, right, and even experienced one or two experienced person who are coming from a different background. It will be very helpful. Okay, so we have added this right course in our site. If you go to c2ta.co.in, okay, if you go to courses, okay, you can see the manual testing, right, test cases, right, testing test cases and manual testing Flipkart for both applications we are done for right automation also, right. If you still right for right automation, the entire end-to-end framework, right, I've already added this in the my YouTube channel, right. So this we have a YouTube channel, right. So right in the different channel, right, if you go and see search, right, change test automation, right, you have this in this channel, right. You can still right, yeah, recently we added right Selenium framework for right book my show on Amazon. Shortly we have added for a test case also. Right, you can see for right Selenium automation end-to-end framework we have already created. Put on YouTube channel. You can use this services here. Okay, so that's all. Right. Thank you for watching, and just follow us. Right, you can follow our channel. Right, follow our site. Right, we are just planning a lot of things. Thanks for watching, and bye, guys. Same.